And welcome to the annual HRP and Partners Convention. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to go straight with the presentation of today's agenda. As you have been informed, today we are proud to have the partners of the Horizon Results platform, and they will be presenting how they bring their services for your benefit. And we are very proud to also show you a few success stories of our collaborations. The presentation will be recorded and will be published on the Horizon Results Platform TV. And we will also be sending you some material after the presentation, including the HRP TV stream. So just a quick reminder, I know that you all have results published on the Horizon Results platform. Our aim is to bring value to you, to promote your innovations so that we bring added value to our society and economy. And what we have this year coming up, again, all these initiatives that you see on the screen are thanks to our valuable partners that you will hear from today. So we will be having pitching events for startups. We will have other matchmaking opportunities. We have a very specific initiative to liaise with event organizers to be able to send some startups to them. We will have, again, nice dedicated webinars like we had with the EU IP Help Desk to help you with your IP strategy. And then we will be promoting your policy-related results to several EU policy priorities like the EU missions. And of course, we will always be working with and promoting the services that are free to you in collaboration with the colleagues from the Horizon Results Booster. In addition to all this, due to the popularity of the platform, more and more programs are joining from the EC-funded R&I landscape, and in a very strong collaboration with the European Innovation Council, we will be transforming the platform in the coming months to years into a very interactive marketplace. So without further ado, I would like to present our partners. And first, I want to introduce our friends from the Enterprise Europe Network. So Marco Gorini and Rian Sares Lopez will take the floor.
Thank you very much, Georgios. And let me share my presentation. Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Marco Gorini. I'm head of innovation and technology transfer at Veneto Innovazione, which is the regional development agency based in Venice, in the northeast of Italy, and we are a local node of Enterprise Europe Network. Let me thanks first of all Georgios Lysandrinas and the Commission for inviting me to speak during this convention. I'm going to speak about a case history about this company Nadir, and you can find it in the Horizon Result platform, and about also Enterprise Europe Network, even if actually I'm sure that all of you is aware about the Enterprise Europe Network, but actually at the same time you have to know that we continue to innovate, because actually we need to assist businesses on daily competitiveness. So we need to adapt our services to the market evolution and to the client's needs. That's why also I'm going to present. So we need to innovate as well. So Sorry, I cannot move the. Okay, here we are. So who we are in the network? The network is composed of, in the picture you can see we were 800 people in Bilbao during the last annual conference. Actually, you have to multiply 5 times because we are more than 4,000 advisors all around the world. So, and I consider them really my colleagues because this is the real added value of the network. We are present in 54 countries, and yeah, actually, the network is considered as a best practice of the Commission because every year we receive new requests from non-EU countries to join the network because they want to be connected with this platform. I mean, and what we do actually, when we started in 2008, the core service was related to, the number of organization involved an advisor, and so it was the partnering services related to business, so in order to create business agreement, but also to technology transfer in order to promote technology offer and request, and then scouting new technology or promoting new technologies, as well as also facilitating the partner search for R&D projects. Actually, together with these services, during the last year, we added other services in order to, as I said, to address new challenges of the market evolution. So at the moment, we combine the partnering services with the sustainability services, advisory service, digitalization advisory service, IP management, innovation management, resilience, internationalization, and access to finance, as well as access to EU funding, because these are, the best way also to succeed, to bring also most of the results on the market. Actually, Horizon Result Platform is a crucial step forward of the Commission in order to facilitate the exploitation. This is a never-ending issue. Sometime I remember a previous commissioner who said that Europe was great in transforming euro into knowledge, but it was not really good in transforming knowledge into euros. But actually, with the Horizon Result Platform, it is not just a list of research results. It's a selection of those research results ready for the market, with where we can find all the needs, and as Enterprise Europe Network advisor, we can address these needs. Actually, looking in the database, I found this company from Venice region, Nadir. This company was involved in this FAST project, developing a 3D bioprinting system with biopolymers for building scaffolds, and using this cold plasma for the treatment of the surface in order to facilitate the growth of tissue, bone tissue. Actually, this plasma is really not hot. You can see the picture in the Nadir lab with my finger with the plasma, and my finger is still here, so it's definitely not hot plasma. And actually, thanks to this project, Nadir succeeded to develop a new application, so plasma jet for surface functionalization of scaffold. At the same time, also they develop new materials, active composites, to be used in new scaffolds and medical devices. These are new applications, even if actually in Nadir, they already have the technology behind this application, because they are working on both with plasma and the biopolymers already in biomedical sector, but also in manufacturing for improving the adhesion between the similar materials, as well as in cultural heritage for restoring masterpiece and cleaning works of art. They develop also technology related to biopolymers with 3D printing, and they provide also these devices, both with plasma and biopolymers, to academic research. So when we found the Nadir and the Horizon Result Platform, we started working together in order to, because the need was also, as we said since the beginning, it was also identify other blended financing, or so the idea is it was also to be more compelling in front of investors. So as technology is not automatically innovation, actually innovation is the value you are going to create on the market. That's why we started with assessing the innovation management capacity of the company. An assessment, it means that you are going to analyze if the innovation strategy is really aligned with the business one. It would identify as the innovation management system is composed of different elements and function, interacted and correlated elements. So you can identify which are the weaknesses or the strengths, and then this information is very useful to improve the business plan, as well as a financial analysis we did also analyzing the last balance sheets, and all this information were used by the company to improve the business plan. At the moment, as a first achievements, actually, thanks to my colleague, the network colleague, from the Chamber of Commerce in Paris, we introduced Nadir to an open innovation challenge of Ariane Group. It was selected for the first step. Now they are waiting for the call for the second step. At the same time, we also introduced Nadir to some investors, and they are in the negotiation phase as well, in order to understand which is also the best investors. Actually, this is just an example, but actually the collaboration between Horizon Research Platform and the Enterprise Europe Network are really different. And so I leave also now the floor to my colleagues, Rian Sares Lopez, because she can demonstrate how the two European initiatives can collaborate together. Rian Sares is...
Hello.
Hello. Rian Sares, can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I was sharing my presentation, but I wasn't sure if you could see it.
Yeah, it was on the screen, so you were sharing it.
Okay, so you see it, right? Okay, so yes, good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank the Horizon Resource Platform for inviting us to participate in this meeting. My name is Rian Sares Lopez, and I am EU Programs Advisor. My host organization is Acció, the Catalan business agency, where I am part of the team focused on assisting companies operating in the automotive sector. Additionally, I am chair of the Automotive Transport and Mobility Sector Group of the Enterprise Europe Network. So,
Rian Sares, we are losing your voice a little bit.
Okay, now you can hear me better? Okay, so let's start with my presentation. I think you see it. Okay, so yes, well, in this presentation, I will share with you an overview of the recent collaboration between the Horizon Resource Platform and Acció. The Acció team responsible for organizing the Open Innovation Challenges. So to provide some context, the Open Innovation Challenges are events designed to facilitate connections between corporates and companies. And these activities take place during sectorial landmark events organized in Barcelona. So, so here you have a glimpse on how it operates. Challenge owners publish their challenges on the matchmaking platform. And then there is a process of dissemination through the Catalan ecosystem, the Enterprise Europe Network, and our offices throughout Europe. Startups and technology providers apply for a challenge and undergo a careful assessment to ensure that they are suitable for this. We then craft a personalized B2B agendas for each corporation. And then if both parties agree to collaborate, there are opportunities, we contacts and we support them throughout the project execution. So I think this is a very helpful tool to promote innovation and technologies. Well, there is a lot of advantages of coming from participating here. One of them is contribute to find solutions aligned with the needs of the main corporations. We accelerate the adoption of advanced technologies. We promote internationalization of the technology suppliers. We facilitate the scaling up of the startups. And well, we try to raise innovation and technology collaborations. So we have successfully organized these events in different sectors and in different events, like Alimentaria, the Mobile World Congress, Industry 4.0, Health Revolution Congress, the ISE Open Innovation Challenge. And then during the Smart City Congress, we collaborated with the Horizon Results platform. The objective was to tap into the results published in the Horizon Results platform and assist the companies in finding a potential buyer for the solution. So 7 entities participated in this initiative. And well, and for 2024, we are organizing 7 additional events. So I encourage you to participate and find corporates interested in buying the results. Hopefully, there will be a collaboration that way with the results platform. So many results will be published in these open challenges. Well, here you have the calendar and see, you can see it's going to happen in. So thank you for your attention, and I look forward to any questions or discussions that may arise later on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rian Sares. Your sound was a little bit choppy at the end, but just for information to our audience is we will be contacting you and we will be sending you the information about these upcoming, very interesting upcoming events that are happening in Barcelona. But now I would like to pass on to our friends from the EU IP Help Desk, and we will have Eugene Sweeney and Stephanie Weber presenting the Help Desk. Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you very much, Yorgos. So IP, intellectual property, IPR, these are words we hear bandied about, but all too often they're misunderstood. And that results in them not really being managed properly or being used strategically. So these intellectual assets, these products of the mind, whether it's a technical invention or a work of art or a piece of music or a new database, a method or design, these are all valuable assets which potentially have value. And they're really important because these are actually the key assets in any project. It's what the project starts with, and it's the results of the project, the background IP and the outcomes. But it's also the key asset in any company. It's what makes companies unique. And it's not just about intellectual assets. There are other intangible assets which are also important, such as people. People have certain skills which are a bit intangible. It may be that they're a fantastic programmer or a great designer, or they have experience and skills. And these are things that actually, when you're looking at writing proposals, for example, you quite often talk about the skills and experience of people. So people are valuable, as is brand value, often supported by trademark. So these are the key assets, I think, as I said, in any project, any company, but they're also at the core of innovation. When you go from the idea stage right through to invention and innovation, at every stage you have to think about and trade and deal with these intellectual and intangible assets. Now, because they're so important, of course, you need to manage them properly and look after them properly and use them strategically. And there are many ways of protecting these assets in the same way that you can perhaps protect physical assets. For certain types of intellectual assets, like technical inventions or designs or databases, there are legal rights, which we call intellectual property rights. And IP, to be very formal, you can think of IP as a particular type of intellectual asset for which a legal right exists. It's not only about patents, but there are other intellectual assets such as knowledge, know-how, for example, skills in people, for which there is no formal legal right, but you can still protect those using contractual agreements, non-disclosure agreements, employment contracts, or generally terms in whenever you're collaborating. And even if there are legal rights that exist, it may be you decide that using a trade secret would be the best way to protect your intellectual or intangible asset. And trade secrets are a valid form of protection, and there's a legal framework around it, harmonized in Europe now. So IP is the property, the asset, and the other intellectual assets, and IPR and other ways to protect you should think of as legal tools which may or may not support exploitation. And the decision to use protection and how you use it is a strategic commercial decision that has to be in line with your overall organization's strategy. So these key assets then, they're very important, they're at the core of innovation, and they have to be properly managed. You have to look after them, properly nurture them, protect them, and you have to decide how you want to use those strategically, both in research projects, but also as you transfer it to take to market partners in companies. And as part of that strategy, you have to decide if you want to protect it, and if so, how and where. Many decisions made there, and how you're going to use that protection and those assets to generate value, not just for the creators of the intellectual asset, but also for the companies and the people who use those assets to produce products and services. So IP, you have to think about, or intellectual assets now in the broader term, right from the idea stage, before a project, when you're talking about it to people and it isn't yet protected, through to the invention or the creation, through to the innovation, the product or services, which is going to generate value and ultimately deliver an impact. So there's a lot to think about here, whether you're a researcher or a company. And that is the purpose of the EU IP Help Desk, who can help you at all stages along that value chain. So I'm going to hand over now to Stephanie, who can tell you a little bit more about the IP help desks and how they can be used with the Horizon Results platform. So thank you very much. Over to you, Stephanie.
Thank you so much, Eugene. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks a lot to the HRP team for inviting us and giving us the floor. My name is Stephanie Weber. I'm Communications Manager with the European IP Help Desk, and I'll give you a brief overview, as Eugene just said. Thanks for reminding us all of the importance of IP and setting the stage, what the European IP Help Desk does and what the International Help Desk do, because I want to remind you that we are a family, a growing one. So apart from the European IP Help Desk, we have additional help desk, I would say, well, almost around the world. And you see them here, and we are all under this umbrella of the IP help desks, and you can all find us on a joint website, which is indicated here. But now let me zoom in a little bit on the European IP help desk. We've just started a new contractual period. In fact, the European IP help desk has been in place for more than 26 years now, and there have been different teams managing it throughout that time, and a new period just started at the beginning of this year. And now we are a consortium of 3 partners behind it. So it's the European Research and Project Office, where I'm working at, and we are coordinating the help desk. We are based in Germany. We have the University of Alicante on board in Spain, and we have a newbie, a new kid on the block, so to speak, among us, which is RISE, Research and Innovation Services, and they are based in Croatia, in Zagreb. And we're thrilled to get started again and keep this service period running. In a nutshell, whom are we talking to, and whom is the European IP Help Desk for? So basically, we are addressing current and potential beneficiaries of EU-funded projects, alongside researchers in general and European small and medium-sized enterprises. So on the one hand, we very much cover this whole arena of what are IP issues, as Eugene so nicely put, in this entire value chain related to research and innovation projects. But we're also doing that for SMEs that are involved in research and innovation projects outside EU-funded programs in cross-national collaboration. And we heard Marco from the Enterprise Europe Network already. So this is where they come into play and where we closely collaborate. I will come to that in a second. So we are a free of charge first line support service, providing that kind of advice, guidance on intellectual property, really trying to be hands-on and really make it relatable for research and entrepreneurs in that arena to get a grip on IP in this whole innovation management concept. You see a snapshot of our key services on the right-hand side. I will go into training and publications a little bit more in a second. But of course, we have, as I mentioned, a website, which is basically the major showcase of all our help desks, but then the regional help desks have individual pages where you can find all the necessary information that you need to find. I'd like to stress that we have a helpline that's been run by the colleagues at the University of Alicante. It's a team of IP experts who answer your specific IP questions within 3 working days. It's confidential, and it's really a very hands-on service and a customized service to answer your personal questions. What's important really for us in all this is that we try to make IP relatable, again, in this whole context of what role does it play in knowledge valorization processes. And with this new service contract, I mean, it's been part of our, let's say, guiding principles for a very long time, but now we strengthen really also the capacities and focus on EU 13 member states. We are all very aware of the innovation gap that we all want to bridge. How can we go about it? And we look at it, of course, from the IP's perspective, trying to build capacities, raise awareness on the different issues that are related to IP, but also how IP can help you solve problems and take you, let's say, further to the market with your research project. So that's going to be a focus of this new service provision or this new service contract. And lastly, I'd like to highlight the unique cooperation scheme that we established 10 years ago. We've celebrated the 10th anniversary last year with the Enterprise Europe Network. It's our ambassador scheme. I'm very happy to see Marco's face here because he's one of the, I think he's been a part of that scheme from the very beginning. And we have 43 ambassadors from 26 European countries. And the reason why we set it up was that we found that there are still obstacles and challenges with regard to IP, which are also based to language barriers. So IP is a complex topic in itself. And if you have to deal with it in English, that's already putting another pressure on it. So what we try to do really is to work with these local ambassadors who try to help us raise awareness in the native tongues of people, to really sort of minimize, to make it easier for people to approach us and ultimately tackle IP questions and problems that they have. And now I would like to zoom in a bit on two specific areas. First of all, the training. So training is really one major pillar of our service. We have online and on-site training events. We have an international pool of experts covering different areas and thematic fields with regard to IP. And we have a specifically extensive online training calendar. As I said, we've just started this new period, and we are currently at the stage of finishing up our plans. So our new regular webinar schedule for 2024 will be up on the website soon. We're catering to different levels of expertise, very much in line with what we said, that we're covering the whole or entire life cycle of research and innovation projects. And we also cover the different stages of IP awareness that we see among our community. So there will always be basic, very entry-level webinars where you get familiar with, the core essential information of IP and definitions and concepts. But then, of course, we're moving along from medium or intermediate level to advanced level topics where we really, dig deeper into the details of technology licensing, for instance. So there's really a broad array of different courses and services, and of course of topics as well. We always try to strike a balance between topics that are more related to IP in research and innovation and IP in the business area. And what's also a key feature of our training programs is that we have a number of specific training corporations. We do a lot with the Enterprise Europe Network, with the European Patent Office, also with the Licensing Executive Society International. I won't read them out all, you have them here, but really something where we closely collaborate with people because it's a vast field, as we all know. And so we try to be as useful and complementary also to existing training programs and collaborate with those partners. As Jorgos already mentioned, HRP is one of our collaboration partners. We did a very successful series last year, an online series with 4 individual webinar sessions. We've been very, very pleased that so more than 1,200 participants turned out, and even more people watched the recordings afterwards. So clearly this is to be continued. And I know that there have been already talks going on between my colleague who's doing the training planning and the team. So I can only invite you and encourage you to keep an eye on our website, or to subscribe to our newsletter or social media channels where you will be informed of any new updates regarding the specific training scheme. And then, of course, the HRP colleagues will chime in once we are ready to spread the word. Apart from the training activities that we do, we have a wealth of different publications. I won't comment on all of them, but truly we try to be as diverse, colorful, but of course, above all, informative and helpful as possible. So you'll find infographics on our page. We joined the EPO in their Talk Innovation podcast to bring stories from innovative innovators and research teams to you, and so on and so forth. There's the bulletin. It's an online magazine format that we have where we usually cover one specific larger topic and then try to collect the different voices from people in the research and innovation landscape to really, give people a full picture of the different perspectives and angles that you could look at from the different perspectives. And one collaboration also with the HRP, which I would like to highlight here, is the joint development of a great case study that we did last year. Basically, we were approached by the HRP team who, in a way, pitched a specific project to us, PeptiChip in that case, which was done by the lovely Professor Vincenzo Cerullo at Helsinki University. And we started to explore whether we could do a case study on that. The idea behind the case studies is really to give people, again, a very relatable and understandable story, to really trace a story from lab to market journey in this case, and highlight where IP played a fundamental role in it. And this worked out brilliantly in this case with Professor Cerullo and his team. There were briefing sessions, we did an interview, and then of course we drafted the manuscript, did the editing and design. And now, of course, we're at the stage where we are able to, spread the word, share it. We really want it to be a very, useful resource and provide insights into the different steps. In that case, it's about how the inventions of Professor Churulu really sort of boosted cancer immunotherapy. And so this is what we're looking for with the case studies, presenting interesting, insightful stories that provide a range of different takeaway messages for you that you can then hopefully, that inspire you and that you might potentially implement in your projects as well. And we're also always on the lookout for these kind of cases also in the future. So certainly something that we will follow up on in the future as well. And with that, just a quick reminder of how you can get in touch with us. As said, there is the helpline team. So if you have a specific question, you can reach out to the colleagues via email or through our website. Also for training requests, we are very open to hear those. Please don't hesitate to get in touch. And as said, we are on social media. We have a growing community there. So please feel free to connect with us here. And as mentioned, the newsletter that we have is going out bi-weekly. And it's basically the major vehicle for us to let you know of the most upcoming webinars, recent publications. So also here, feel free to subscribe. And with that, thank you so much for your attention. I'm happy to attend to any questions later on. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Stephanie and Eugene, for the inspiring presentation of what is IP, and to you, Stephanie, for going in the details about the IP help desk. And I'm also glad to hear that you, our partners, are collaborating with each other. And it proves that it's the power of the network that brings about these successes in most cases. And I'm very happy to see that PeptiChip is such a success story of collaboration between several partners. So without further ado, I would like to pass on the floor to our friends from the Horizon Result Booster, who I would call more like a sister project to the HRP. We are together the two flagship initiatives in the European Commission trying to promote your solutions to the market or to having the desired impact, depending on the nature, of course, of your innovation. So without further ado, I give you the floor, Alessia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and good morning to you all. Thank you, of course, for having given us the opportunity to be on board today in this HRP convention. As Georgios just presented, we are closely related, the Horizon Results platform and the Horizon Results Booster. I'm going to introduce you the Horizon Results Booster initiative, which is DG RTD initiative supporting projects to maximize their impact. The initiative is run by a consortium which is led by Meta Group, and I'm part of Meta Group. And I'm sharing this presentation with my colleague Rossellina Di Santo, which is from Meta Group as well. So as I was just mentioning, the Horizon Results Booster is the initiative which aims to maximize the impact of funded projects under FP7 H2020 and Horizon Europe. And projects can be closed or ongoing, and they can be directly funded by the Commission or indirectly funded by the EIT, joint undertaking, and similar initiatives. The Horizon Results Booster services are delivered to the eligible project 100% free of charge, because the initiative is fully supported by the European Commission. Services that I'm going to present in a minute can be requested by applicants a la carte from the list when completing the online application form. And my colleague Rossellina is going to explain you how to apply. HRP then provides beneficiaries with tools and methodologies and appoints a service team dedicated per each service delivery, where experts act as facilitators. The aim of the service delivery is a learning experience. This means that experts are going to guide and support beneficiaries working on their key exploitable results and supporting their activities. All the services delivered happens remotely and virtually. We have 3 different sets of services which can be provided to eligible beneficiaries. Service 1, portfolio dissemination and exploitation strategy. Service 2, business plan development. Service 3, go to market. Actually, service 1 is subdivided in 3 modules. Module A and module B are dissemination related services. Module A is identifying and creating the portfolio of research and innovation project results. For the aim of the delivery, actually, Module A and Module B can be delivered only to project groups or cluster of projects. Services can be requested directly by an already created project group, or an individual project can request the service, and the creation of a project group is the first step in the service delivery. Project groups are created taking into account commonalities which can be leveraged between the different projects. And of course, the creation of the project group is supported by the appointed experts. The aims of the service, this one service, is to create a common portfolio of results among the different projects which have been grouped, and to target the different audiences. Module B. Module B goes to the creation of a joint portfolio dissemination plan, and the service delivery includes visual identity, short video presenting the project group's results, plus capacity building exercise, because beneficiaries must pick 2 out of 6 dissemination expert packages. Service 1, Module C. This is the entry level for the exploitation related services. In this case, the work is performed by the experts working with the beneficiaries on 3 key exploitable results, which are selected by the project. And there is the characterization of each key exploitable result, the preparation of a draft exploitation roadmap, and risks which can affect the exploitation pact are assessed with the experts. Service 2, business plan development. In this case, experts are going to assist and support beneficiaries in finalizing and completing their draft business plan, deepening more the market analysis, analyzing the business strategy, working on the operation plan, analyzing the competition. And service 2 can be requested as a standalone, so it's not necessarily needed to pass by service 1 module C before accessing service 2. This depends much on the level of maturity of the beneficiary project. Then we have the service 3 with the go-to-market support. Actually, we have 6 sub-services included in the go-to-market support. And we have the how to pitch, so pitching support to have a finalized slide deck to present your results to investors, relevant stakeholders. Support for IPR, which is an introductory and guiding type of service on the different type of IP protections, because then you will be readdressed to the IPR help desk and the other initiatives which are up and running already from the Commission. Then there is the innovation management training. business services, which are subdivided in co-design of the commercialization plan, feasibility assessment of a business plan, and support to create a startup spin-off. Then exploitation options, if you have doubts in between different potential use models, the service helps you in understanding pros and cons of the service delivery. And then you have the access to non-EU funding, which guides you through different additional funding forms, and you will receive as well support in drafting your application to address those ones. As you can imagine, the services can be delivered in parallel, and usually we have the dissemination services and the exploitation and go-to-market services run in parallel or one after the other. This depends much on when you are requesting them and how many of those you would like to benefit from. Please consider that all the eligible projects can request all the services free of charge in one or more applications. And now I give the floor to my colleague Rossellina.
Thank you very much, Alessia. So regarding the HRP application, it is important to underline that, of course, the application is public and open to every eligible project. It is possible to submit the application through the website. And it is important to know that we accept application until the 7th of May 2024, and services can be delivered and therefore completed by the 7th of November 2024. When submitting the application, one of the first questions that is asked is whether the project is applying as an individual project or as a project group, therefore including in the application at least 2 projects. Next slide, please. Yes, so HRP is a very comprehensive initiative. We have more than 220 experts involved, supporting more than 1,400 projects, and at the level of assignment between ongoing and completed, we are at the level of 1,718. Regarding the funding scheme, we can see in this graph that actually the largest part of application are coming from research and innovation action projects, but of course, as I mentioned, HRP is an overarching initiative supporting every kind of eligible project, therefore every kind of result type and also field of expertise. So we support also, for instance, Marie Curie, CSA, innovation action, and so on and so forth. We have, of course, many success stories among our beneficiaries. In particular, Ocean 2G is a project that was dedicated to the 2nd generation technology in ocean energy. And it is a project that benefited of the Service 1 Module C, business plan development, and go-to-market services. Of course, this project uploaded their result on the Horizon Results platform and also participated to the event organized by Horizon Results platform and Business Angels. In this occasion, the project benefited of the one-to-one pitch review, which was a session dedicated to the review of the deck and the speech to better fit business angel expectation, but also the pitch test session, which was another session in which each startup presented in front of the peer and received live feedback. Of course, the project was, let's say, very happy of the support that they received. And in particular, they underlined that they gained better understanding of their strength of their solution, of course. Next slide, please. So last but not least, we have also another success story, which is the project Waterai, which is a research and innovation action project, and it is a project focused on smart maintenance offshore of wind farm. they benefited of the Service 1 Module C, the Business Plan Development Service, and also 2 of the go-to-market services. Of course, at the end, they prepared a successful exploitation and commercialization stages, and also they prepared to validate the system in an operational wind farm before going to the market. At the end, of course, they also uploaded their results on the HRP platform. And what they commented at the end of the services is that, of course, researchers are not used to think about beyond the development of the technologies, and therefore the support that they received at the level of the exploitation and introduction into the market of their technologies was very much appreciated. This will conclude our presentation. We thank HRP for the nice collaboration and always good interaction, and we thank the audience for the attention.
Thank you very, very much, both Alessia and Rosalina, for this very nice presentation. I would very strongly encourage our audience to apply for the HRB services. And one of the last things that you mentioned, Rosalina, you know, it's very important, the fact that making the step from research to innovation is not at all an easy step. And we very much rely on you to help our beneficiaries who have this desire to do so, to help them in the way of doing so. But now I would like to introduce the European Business Angels Network and our friend Jacopo from there, who will give you an overview of IBAN and how we work together. We have all been organizing already for quite a few years now, some very, very interesting pitching events and training for our beneficiaries on how to approach investors. Jacopo, over to you.
Good morning. Well,
we can't hear you very well, Jacopo. We can see your slides.
Hello. Can you hear me? Hello?
Oh, the sound is a little bit choppy. No, I can't hear you.
Right.
Try again.
Hello.
That's better.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now, Jacopo.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
So, okay.
Here we go.
Go ahead and share your slides. Thank you.
All right. Okay. If you all hear me, good morning. Pleasure to be with you today, and thank you for the invitation from the HRP. I'm going to walk you through a little bit about our association IBAN and how we are supporting startups when it comes to access to finance and in general investment readiness. In a nutshell, IBAN is a non-for-profit trade association that was started in 1999, so 25 years ago this year, to spread and divulge the culture and the movement of angel investment across Europe. And actually, a lot of our activity in the early years really focused exactly on that, helping new angel groups get started and helping new people approach this investment asset class in a professional, in a educated manner. IBAN nowadays is a very large network. Our members include primarily business angel clubs, meaning investor organizations that are typically investing in startups at a local level close to them. We have over 120 organizations that are part of IBAN, which engage roughly 7,000 or so individual business angels across not just all of the EU, but more broadly the entire European continent, as well as some neighboring regions of Europe, such as North Africa and the Middle East. What our organization ultimately is here to do is to professionalize, is to educate, is to help investors with professional standards, with best practices. And we carry out those activities in a number of ways, which I'll be explaining in a moment. We are a network. We're here to connect investor communities and support each other in sharing deal flow. And we have also there a series of activities, as well as co-invest and syndicate deals. And here we provide mostly support to our members in building the trust needed, in the trust relationship that is needed to do the deals, as well as provide guidance and practical advice on how to structure. And last but not least, as a trade association based in Brussels, we're also representing the community of the business angel investors towards all of the EU institutions. Mostly this entails working with the European Commission as well as with the other agencies of the EU in putting together, be they programs or instruments that have that are useful, that are important for the growth and the acceleration of the growth of angel investment across member states. We are primarily an investor organization, and as I was saying, we're doing a lot of different connecting and networking related activities, education, and so on. But we're also very much working with entrepreneurs, with startup founders, and in particular with those founders that are in their relatively early stages of development. Maybe as some of you know, business angels are by far the most active early stage investors, the first early stage investors a startup will find. So before the institutional investors, before the VCs, typically the funding landscape includes mostly business angels who are ready to take on the huge risk that usually these young companies have in their first kind of years of activity. And they're investing, of course, not just their funding, not just their capital, but also their network connections and also their expertise and their knowledge. And what we do as IBAN for the entrepreneurs that are part of our community is we provide founders with the know-how, with the knowledge of how to grow an early stage business in its early years. And secondly, the networking and the connections to the investment community. As I was saying earlier, IBAN has a very large and broad membership-based network where we can effectively put in touch startups on a local basis with the angel investors that are either closest to them, or on a regional or international basis to the angel investors that are relevant for a particular technology that they are basing their business off of. So there's a lot of different kind of introductions that we can provide between the startups in our community and the investors. On our website, iban.org, startups can also check out the list of the IBAN members and approach the ones that are, again, a better fit for their funding and also a better fit for the actual business they're trying to grow. Secondly, our association is very well known for its two annual events that we organize every year. IBAN has been hosting events since its year of launch. We've organized 23 annual editions of our Congress and our early stage European Angel Investment Summit, These are the two big annual events that our association does every year to not just bring together the community that we have, but also to help and facilitate the connections between startups and the investors at these events. So every year we have roughly 300 or so applications for 20 to 30 slots that we offer in our agenda to pitch. I will say the selection is very high and good, also because of the huge support we've received from our partner network. That includes also the HRP, who promotes and shares the call for startup applications that are coming out close to these two annual events. The IBAN Congress, our first annual event in the year, takes place usually in the springtime in May. This is an event that moves around a different city in a different country in Europe every year, with the intention to, on one hand, bridge the international investor community with a local one, again, to help build the cross-border collaborations. But secondly, it's also here to put the spotlight and let the world appreciate the community, the local startup ecosystem and the local investor ecosystem across the different parts of Europe. So our event this year, the Congress this year, is happening in Tallinn, Estonia, and is organized together by IBAN with our members in Estonia, the Estonian Business Angel Network, EstBAN, and call for startups is coming out very soon. So heads up to the founders and the audience to keep an eye on both our newsletter and our social media channels for when the call for that event comes out. And our second annual event, again, this is supported also by HRP. This is the European Angel Investment Summit, a conference that is happening every year in October in Brussels, where again, we usually have a very large amount of startup applications from all over Europe, and we're selecting typically 20 to 30 founders to then pitch in the program. At both of these events, typically the founders that apply and do not get selected to participate can anyways come to the events, be it with a free or with a discounted ticket, intended for them to come and take a bit the best out of the conference for their own kind of needs, be they looking for some maybe educational activities, or be they looking for investors to fundraise from. We try to make this event as accessible as can be to the founders, to the startups that are interested in joining it. Thirdly, IBAN does also a lot of different pitching events. I've mentioned already the two that we do during our annual Congress and summits. Throughout the year, we also do pitching events online. We've recently had actually some great collaborations with HRP, as well as many other European Commission agencies. And here the format is pretty similar to what happens at the real life event, only that we run it on Zoom, and then facilitate one-to-one meetings and connections between investors in the audience with the startup. Something that at the event, the real life ones, we usually facilitate through a networking app that people can use to arrange the meetings with whoever they wish to do directly. And in addition to these pitching competitions, we also have we usually also have pitching events in person happening at other events, real life events across the world, really. I'll come back to that in a moment, but IBAN has, besides its own events, a series of partner conferences that we support, that we provide also access to, and we're supporting their startups to go and pitch at those conferences. And last but not least, we do education, workshops, mentoring activities intended for especially not investment ready startups. This is a bit our area of specialty. We are fortunate to have many experts in our community, which are volunteering as coaches, as mentors for all of our educational activities. And these are all people that are exited entrepreneurs, people that have sold their startup maybe some years ago and are now angel investors more as a full-time job. And they are kind of here giving back to the next generation of founders by sharing a bit their experience and their knowledge on investment readiness topics. We usually focus mostly on the fundraising, on understanding the funding landscape in early stages, and then in particular how to present your company effectively to an angel investor. So there's a lot of different workshops that we do also here, both online as well as in real life, and happy to have partnered with HRP on a couple of these over the years. So, and this is just as a summary, our collaboration with the Horizon Results platform actually dates back to quite some time, as Georgios was mentioning, primarily on these two areas, educating founders, and in particular the deep tech founders, which are so prevalent on the HRP platform. And we're providing, as I was saying, this kind of more hands-on practical mentorship and educational activities that are coming from people that have been there and done that before. And I think this is an area where we are very much looking forward to continuing the collaboration. And honestly, I think startups have so much to understand regarding also their fundraising needs and how to fundraise and how to and which kind of investors really are providing value across the stages of growth, that this is really a incredibly valuable activity to them. And in addition, the second activity is what we were mentioning about giving the visibility and the access and helping startup founders connect with the investors. And here again, happy to have this collaboration in place in the scope of our annual events, and in addition, doing the ad hoc events that help the startup entrepreneurs connect with the investor audience that we gather. Save these two dates: the Congress in Tallinn on the 20th, 21st, and 22nd of May, and the summit in Brussels happening on the 15th and the 16th of October. You can follow the news either by subscribing to the newsletter. We call it the Angel Observer, and every month we are publishing this towards the end of the month, and you will find in there a lot of opportunities as a startup to either access events or access educational or investment readiness related offerings that we facilitate. And then, of course, you can also follow us on social media, where we're incredibly present and active, both on LinkedIn and on X, Twitter. You can check us out there and find and not lose really all of the different announcements and call for applications that we are sending out. There are, as I was saying, also other events that we partner with. This is just a small selection of some of the major ones happening in the first semester of the year. And all of these are events where IBAN has either free passes, tickets to go, and also opportunities for startups to pitch. These are all great conferences where you can find international investors, and we obviously urge you as a founder to be very proactive when it is time to go and fundraise, to also leverage the conferences and these events as a place to potentially meet your next investor. So on our website, in the calendar, in the event calendar section, you can find out a lot more about our upcoming activities and events. And on our website, iban.org, in general, everything that has been mentioned, including also lots of other educational content that you can find and use for more self-education. So thank you again, everyone, And thank you to the HRP for giving us the opportunity to present here today.
Jacobo, thank you very much for this very nice presentation of IBAN, and thank you again for our collaboration. I would encourage our audience members that want to start a startup to definitely reach out to IBAN and learn how to approach investors, learn what it takes. And particularly this mentoring program sounds very, very interesting for any newcomer. Regarding the events, then we will also be reaching out to our HRP audience about your events, Jacobo. So please check the HRP news website from time to time for our audience, because we will be also sending you links to IBAN's events coming up. One last thing before I present our next speaker. There is one network that we have been collaborating in the past, the Business Angel Europe network. They have been going through some restructuring, and we have been in touch with them. So rest assured that we will be, renewing our collaboration with the BAE as well. Thank you very much. And I would like now to pass the floor to Pauline from the Solar Impulse Foundation.
Good morning.
Good morning, Pauline. So I give you the floor and you can share your slides.
All right. Yes. Just one sec. Here. Oh, it seems like I have trouble opening my slide. Just one sec. I might have to re-enter. Okay, sorry about that. And you should now be able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me just go in presenter mode. So thanks a lot for the invitation today. I'm going to be short and sweet, as I think we're a little bit rushing throughout this event. Very happy to be here and to present what we do at the Solar Impulse Foundation and how we have been collaborating since quite a while now with HRP. So a little bit of background on the foundation. So some of you might have heard about it. In 2016, our chairman, Bertrand Piccard, he did the first round the world flights in a solar aircraft, really prove that technologies exist today and that we just need to implement them. So following this world record, we really wanted to show that there is a solution that exists, that they are both good for the environment and also profitable, cost effective. So in 2021, we reached the 1,000 solution that we have vetted through our labeling process. And now we're still doing this labeling of solution and trying to find more and more. We have a little bit more than 1,500 today. And we also are transitioning a little bit more into the implementation of those solutions. So the idea is really to help them being adopted. here a little bit more in detail what I'm intending into accelerating the adoption of efficient solution. So here there is really two ways of doing it. We're talking about advocacy on one side, which is really influencing, inspiring, and educating. So on the influence, we have all the parts we do with decision makers, a little bit more on how to modernize legislative framework. So we had several initiatives really showcasing, for instance, in France, 50 laws that we have written, really that if they are adopted, they will make a big change on climate and also on the adoption of solution. The second part is really more about communication and really communicating around a positive narrative to the general public, to the media. For instance, we were at COP just in December presenting what we call the new climate narrative. So it's really a new way to talk about climate, inspire, and try really to make things change with decision maker, with big companies, what we call adopters. And retransitioning on this adoption more concretely, we have the implementation phase. So here we are working closely either with our partners, so it could be public or private partners, so big company in Europe, also regions and governments, to bring solution to challenges that they have. So for instance, we're doing this, I think in 2 days in Région de France, so in Paris. We have a little bit more than 300 business meetings happening there. So we have solution meeting with potential adopters of solution there. Another initiative that we just launched yesterday is the Positive Home Challenge. Here again, but with private companies. So it's called ADEO Group. They own a lot of DIY stores and so on. And here it's to really bring solutions that we have identified to be commercialized in those stores. And the last part is really about venture and financing support. So really resonating with what Iban presented and others. We are here to really help solution find financing support and really help them in their effort of raising money. So to do that, we have two ways, more or less. So runway, I'm gonna deep dive a little bit more into that, and also the pitch session that we are doing, and some of them with HRP. Just first, a little bit of a deep dive in Runway. So we launched that end of last year. It's really a platform to matchmake our solution and our network of investors. We are working with quite a wide network of investors, more or less 500 vetted investors that are looking for investment opportunities. More for you, I'm going to focus on what's in it for you as a solution, as an innovator, as a startup. So the idea is really to secure funding through the Solar Impulse network with gaining exposure to SIF's global network of vetted investors, as I mentioned. Share your fundraising efficiently with the right investors. So we have put in place this funding information form where you can really update your latest needs in terms of financing. And so it makes it available to our investor network. And also gaining some input and tips from the Solar Impulse Foundation team on your financial profile. It can be coaching on your pitch deck, on the pitch you are doing, and so on. Here you have an overview of how it looks like on the platform. So all investors can really filter by type of round, amount, capital requirements, and so on. And also you can see the amount they're raising, when it's supposed to be closed, and which type of series. And if you click on it, you can see the full profile of a solution. Now, deep diving a little bit more on really our collaboration with HRP. So More generally, I would say that we are really helping each other. So if we have an opportunity that might interest HRP's member, we're gonna share with them, and it's the same way the other way around. But here more concretely, we've been doing a pitch session on various topics. So the first one was really about Repowering EU. So there we had 5 solution pitching in front of our investor audience. And the latest one was about cities, so the challenge that cities are facing and how a solution can really overcome those challenges. So basically, of course, it gives introduction to interested investors, but also bring visibility to you as a HRP member, because we're going to do articles about your solution. You're going to appear on our funding monthly newsletter to our investors, and of course, the possibility to have your profile on Runway. Here you have an overview of other benefits that we are offering to labeled solutions. So you can see that more than 200 solutions that received EC funds are labeled and keep on going. This number is increasing all the time. But you can see that there is a lot of those that received benefit as visibility. So it can be communication on social media, articles, as I mentioned. We always try to make the most out of our visibility. Bertrand Picard is also a great ambassador of solution, so he always have some in mind when he's going on interviews and so on. We have the other one that is tailored introduction. So as I mentioned, it could be to investors, but it can also be to potential clients or partners, other solutions that are labeled, really start to work in network. The other one is matchmaking events. So one that I mentioned before is a matchmaking event with those business meetings, but we also try to really invite you to most of the event, and then you decide if it's interesting or not. External event invitations. So I saw that before we talked about Change Now or Vivatech or all those events that we are usually going and have good relation with those events. So we are able to offer invitation, free booth, pitching slot, and so on to the labeled solutions. And the last one is coaching session. So as I mentioned, can be if you have, I don't know, communication challenges, need help to have a better pitch deck or how you present your solution and so on. So that's something that we are happy to help also. So that's it from my side, a little call to action for you if you are interested to have access to those opportunities. You can just go on the Solar Impulse website and create an account as an innovator, and then you will be guided through the next step. And I'm sure that Georgios and the HRP team is gonna give you access to all of that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Pauline, for the very nice presentation of the Solar Impulse Foundation. And of course, behind each organization, there are some great people. And I would really encourage all of you, our audience, to go and read the story of the Solar Impulse Foundation and its founder, Mr. Bertrand Picard, who has been a very big inspiration in how the foundation works. And of course, yes, we have been having a very good collaboration with Pauline and her team. We try to promote innovations from the Horizon Results platform that have a relevance with the 5 Sustainable Development Goals that the foundation is trying to promote. And we have developed a closer way of assessing the efficient label, as they call it at the foundation, which is some kind of seal of excellence, if you want to call it that way. So you will enjoy, as beneficiaries having results on the Horizon Results platform, you will enjoy some fast track approach in terms of evaluating your solution to obtain that label. And once you do obtain that label, you of course have all those nice privileges and access to investment funds and many other investors, and the policy advocacy that the foundation offers. So thank you very much, Pauline. Before I close, I just want to very quickly share with you a few last thoughts, if I may. In particular, just want to say that you heard it from our partners. You could go ahead and contact them directly, check their websites. But of course, if you come to us, we will make the link to them to help us make the best match for you depending on your needs. Please update your profiles when necessary. If there's a new development, a new link to your website, or something new with the maturity of your result, please do it so that we know who to reach out to depending on your needs. Also, this is very important for us because oftentimes in a multi-partner project, we don't know who owns the result. And that is very important, especially for our colleagues dealing with investments like the IBAN colleagues. When we want to promote an innovation for a pitching event, there needs to be a startup involved, or at least a legal entity, an SME involved, because investors do not invest in projects. The way we have the questions set up on the platform, we try to kind of address this and ask you to tell us who owns the IP, the intellectual property that Eugene was explaining at the beginning. This is very important because then we know who to contact for what need. And of course, when you create this, as we call it, result profile, make sure that depending on who you want to target, to tailor it accordingly, so that helps us identify the best possible partner for you. And you will receive, after this event, after this meeting, you will receive some material through a communication, and we will try to send you the slides as well, but also the links to all of our partners' websites. And finally, I want to say, please check the news section because a lot of the events that Rian Sares was mentioning regarding the events happening from the EEN, or the IBAN events coming up, or the training events that are coming up from the UIP Help Desk, or the pitching events, or other matchmaking events of the Solar Impulse Foundation, they will be publicized on our news section. So thank you very much. You will have a communication afterwards showing you where the link is, the video of the entire webinar, and also the slides. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Georgios, for today, and have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.